Hello, Dave here with emergencyprepguy.com. I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, today's video is part 2 in the chicken coop build. This is a video I've been looking forward to filming for a long time. In this video, I actually started building the chicken coop itself. And so it's been a while since I did the foundation. I've built a couple of quail hutches since then, and so I've been anxious to get back at working on this chicken coop. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into it. Okay, I hope you can see me okay. I've got the first wall done. This is the wall that's going to go at the back end of the coop where the doors will be. It's 6 foot high by 8 foot wide. So obviously the top board and the bottom board are 8 foot long. This board here is 89 inches long, and the two sides are 65 inches long. These two short boards here are 20.5 inches long. This is my first time with using pocket hole screws. I'm kind of excited about it. I like them. We'll come back as I get a little bit more done. Okay, this is 14 8-foot 2x4s sitting on my sawhorses here. This is the lumber that I will need for this next phase of walls that I'm going to build. I'm going to show you my little drawing here. I got to warn you, it's very confusing. I apologize. This is my list of the different lengths of all the boards that I've got to cut. This originally was the drawing that I did for the wall that I already built, the back wall. I should have drawn it up here or down here so I would have had room to draw the opposite wall, but I didn't. So instead what I did is I just added the measurements for both walls. So this was the 8 foot 96 inches that this board was for the wall that I already built. On the opposite wall it will be a little shorter because it'll have the side walls. It'll be going in between the two side walls, and so the top board on that one will need to be 93 inches. So this represents both the wall I already built and the opposite wall, interior wall. So another example is, instead of 89 inches like the wall I already built, for the opposite wall it'll be 86 inches for this board. I won't have these two boards or the bottom board on the wall that is inside the run, the opposite wall. So I'm going to get all these pieces of boards cut, and we'll talk to you when we get a little farther done. Okay, I've got all the lumber cut to the specific lengths that I need to assemble these the other 3 walls. And now what I've got to do is I've got to put on all the boards that butt up against another board, I need to drill pocket holes in them. Okay, now that I finished drilling all the pocket holes into each of the boards, you see me, I laid out all of the boards for one of the side walls, and I'm going around each of the corners drilling the pocket screws into the pocket holes. Now I'm laying out each of the cross boards. Okay, I made a mistake in my measurements, and I just wanted to show you what that was. If you look here on this side, I had 30, oops, I gotta make sure you can see it, 39.5 inches for these cross boards. I cut them all at 39.5, and here's the problem that I'm having. It's a wee bit too short. So what I did was I cut another board at 39 3/4, but I made sure to cut on the line because it's actually just slightly less than 39 3/4. And if I stick that board in here, you'll see it fits perfect. So what my point is if I was doing this over, I think I would have cut the side boards and the top boards. I would have pre-cut all of those, and then I would have measured the distance before I cut any of these cross boards, if that makes sense. Okay, I've got the four walls there. Just this front interior wall here. I haven't got the 2 cross beams that are going to go across there. I'll do them next. But these boards are all held together right now with clamps. I've got to put some decking screws in and hold them together. This wall here, the base of this crossboard, just like that base of that crossboard and that crossboard, those are all 24 inches from the foundation. From the base of that board to the base of this next board up is 12 inches. And then from the base of this board to the base of this board is 18 inches. And so that's going to give this right here, this hole right here is where the nest boxes are going to be. I wanted to paint the inside of the back wall and the 2 side walls so that I can put hardware cloth on there before I put the floor in the chicken coop. I didn't want to have to, after the fact, crawl under and try to attach the hardware cloth. Okay, I just want to show you real quick how I put this piece of plywood in the front wall of that coop there. And I'll give you the dimensions too. It's 4 feet wide by 93 inches long. So I just left it 4 feet wide and cut it 93 inches long. And then I set it over here on the sawhorse to paint the one side. It was a little bit of a challenge since I'm doing this by myself, but thankfully clamps make things a whole lot easier. As you can see, I haven't even got it screwed in there yet. I've just got it held up by clamps. So I'll just get it all positioned where I want it, and then I'll screw it in. As you can see, there's a big roll of PVC covered or coated hardware cloth that I got, 36 inches wide. You can see I've been trimming it to size to fit under there. So what I've gotten done is I've gotten both of the side pieces of plywood done. Let me walk over here if I could not be too shaky. You can see I've got the hardware cloth on all the way around the bottom. You can see I've got the other piece of plywood up over there and the hardware cloth on. So this is where the nesting box is going to go. I've got to cut that out. I'm going to do a window or 2 here. I've got to do a door there. But before I do all of that, I'm going to put the floor in. Okay, I got the frame portion of the chicken coop floor done. The long sides were 91.5, and these ones are 41.5, the cross supports.
Okay, I just finished putting together the two ends of the nesting box, and I wanted to give you the measurements and angles. First, I want to tell you the reason a couple of these long sides have pocket holes that won't be used is because if you remember earlier in the video when I was building the side walls to the coop, there was a couple of crossboards that I cut too short and I didn't want to waste them, so I used them in here. The pocket holes will go on the inside, so only the chickens will see them anyway. So the angle across the top of these are 15 degrees. The shortest side of this board is exactly 14 inches, and the longest side of this board over here is exactly 18 inches. This board from there to there is 8 3/4 inches, and this board's 8.5 inches. So that's how that went together. Okay, I just finished doing the front frame of the nest box. The measurements on this, altogether, this is 14 inches high. This little short boards on either end are 7 1/8, and these ones are 40 inches wide, and they'll fit just like that on the nest boxes. And so the nest box with both ends on it will be 43 inches wide. So the only other piece that I've got to put on it, besides the plywood, I'll just show you, is this piece here that'll sit there, and the other end will go here, and then I'll just put plywood all the way around. Okay, this is going to be the door to the front of the nesting box that you open up, to reach in and get eggs out. The height on this is 7 inches. The length is 32 7/8 inches. This is just a 2x4 that I cut. And these are a 2x4, a long 2x4 that I ripped down the middle. This is going to be white, and I'll just take I'll trim down a piece of that scrap plywood to go on the back to be white, and we'll show you a little more when we get more done. Okay, let's take a look at where we're at with the coop so far. The coop is mostly built. The hardware cloths along the bottom, it's painted. I want to give you a closer look at the nesting box. I will be putting, when I do the roof, I will be putting a corrugated plastic roof on the top here. I didn't need to paint the inside of the nesting box. I'm not going to paint the inside of the chicken coop other than the floor. But I was painting it, and so I just went ahead and painted it. I want to show you the nesting box from this side. It looks fine. I've still got to put a couple of dividers in there, and I've got to obviously put the door on the outside of the nesting box.
Okay, I hope that was interesting. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks.